Guidelines for accommodations. Accommodations are available to all students on the basis of individual need, regardless of disability status. Decisions regarding accommodations should be made by the student's educational team on an individual basis, consistent with their previous accommodation decisions for the student or current educational needs. Any accommodations used during testing must be consistent with those used during the student's regular classroom instruction and assessment for at least 3 months prior to testing. Standard accommodations are changes in the way a test is administered or responded to by the student who is being tested. Non-standard accommodations change what is being measured by the test and will result in the student being reported as a novice. They are available only to IEP and LEP documented students. Double-starred standard accommodations are intended for use with students identified as IEP 504 LEP. These accommodations must be listed in the student's IEP 504 plan or LEP plan. In unusual circumstances, approval may be requested for a general education student not identified as IEP 504 LEP to be administered the CRT with an accommodation keyed with a double star. For prospective cases in which the request is not related to a medical emergency, the guidelines below should be followed. The accommodation has been in place and used regularly in classroom instruction for at least 3 consecutive months. A team made the decision about the appropriateness of the accommodation for instructional and formalized assessments. There are data to demonstrate the effectiveness of the accommodation for the student on formalized assessments. The accommodation is used in the administration of all other formalized assessments, such as chapter tests, unit tests, and other tests administered to groups of students. See tables on the following slides for directions to request approval. This slide indicates online reporting and registration sites where relevant information can be found for the MONTCAST assessments. I recommend this slide and the following slide be printed out for future reference. This slide supplies links to online reporting and registration for the varied assessment measures used by the Montana Assessment System. Important resources and references are available on the OPI Conference Assessment website. At that site, you can find guidelines and procedures for test security, accommodations manual, CRT test coordinators manual, CRT test administration manual, and the CRT test administration materials. Important resources can also be found at the Measured Progress iServices website. At that site, select Montana or Montana Alternate Assessment from the drop-down menu to select a service. You can register for upcoming CRT and CRT alternate test development meetings, order large print test booklets, access the online reporting system, MARS, accessible for administrators, download additional forms and manuals, order additional testing material.